Nice. We're live. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to RareMaven, the podcast live. I'm your host, Kareemah Muhammad. I'm founder and creative producer of RareMaven Media, where we own, we create, and celebrate Black women. And I am here with our special guest, Dr. Tarika Sullivan with Black Girl Magic Tours. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this conversation because her work embodies what we do here at RareMaven, which is celebrating Black women, but also creating, like this artwork, these tours, togetherness, community. And her journey is amazing, and how she started off with celebrating our hair, which hers looks fabulous right now, but how it took her into a personal approach with how she was affected by her hair movement, the hair movement was her growth into now creating a community for women to celebrate who they are through the arts. And it's based in Atlanta, Georgia. So, we talked a lot about that. We're going to get into that. Was great for Atlanta, and especially for Black people, but also Black women, and why it's so great that she's doing it in this hub for us. And also just what got her into this. We're going to tap into that. So I just want to say welcome, Dr. Tarika. Thank you so much. And yes, just say hi to everybody, our viewers.
Thank you so much, Kareemah, and hello, everyone. Good to be here. I'm Tarika Sullivan of Black Girl Magic Tours, and I'm just excited to be invited to this space to have this conversation.
Yes, amazing. Hello. So to start us off, I like to know, I kind of gave it away, but I didn't give it fully away, but where are you from? And who was the first person to inspire you in entrepreneurship?
Ooh, entrepreneurship. Okay, so I'm from New Jersey, born in New Jersey, moved to Atlanta back in 2006 after I finished a couple of degrees and totally fell in love with the city of Atlanta. It is just a beautiful place to be. So though I'm from New Jersey, I've been here in Atlanta so long that I kind of feel like I'm a Georgia peach at this moment.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's been like 16 years. Who has inspired me into to be an entrepreneur? I think so many different inspirations. That's actually a hard question because I am inspired by the high percentage of Black women who every day think of ways to capitalize on their hobbies, on their skills, on their art, on their creativity. And they just turn ideas, like just turning ideas into gold. Yeah. So I'm inspired by Black women.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. So I have what I call like a trivia question for you.
Uh-oh.
So, would you rather take the Black Girl Magic Tour on tour? So, around this country, you can also choose like other countries to go to, do like a tour.
Okay.
Or would you rather have like a festival held in Atlanta with all your favorite artists?
Okay, so Kareemah, this is actually not a hard question. I can answer that very quickly. The answer is I would love to take Black Girl Magic Tours on tour around the country. And it is like I already in my mind already have the cities in mind of where I would want to expand. The tour. Like I've been to a couple of different cities, a few different cities in the last 2 years, and I'm like, one city in particular is just, it is ripe with mural art that celebrates Black women.
Well, I'm gonna guess. I want to take a guess. Is it Brooklyn?
It's not Brooklyn. It's Philadelphia.
I was going to think Philadelphia. I was like, is it? But I haven't been there. I'm like, is it Philly? Because I'm thinking like it's that richness there, like with Philly.
It's like on every block after block after block. It's like dope piece of art, dope mural, dope mural. I'm like, there is so much art in Philly.
Have you thought? I know I'm going off now ideas, but have you thought of a collab? I don't know if anyone heard of the Roots Festival.
I have not. I've not thought of a collab with.
Yeah.
No, I
or
have not had
something
fellowship
like
in
that.
tourism.
I don't know. That just came to me real quick, but I
Really?
can I can see this tour. Like, you know, like I literally could see this. Like literally, I see LA. You know, I see DC, like our hubs, like you know. But I didn't think about collaboration. I think about Curl Fest now, and art is within that. Like I just see that. I don't know. I got visions, but this is because I love that again. You celebrate Black women. I'm thinking about all these avenues that we can find one another and celebrate culture.
There's so many avenues, so many pathways to do this, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. So can you tell us what is Black Girl Magic Tours?
Absolutely. So Black Girl Magic Tours is currently Atlanta's guided luxury mural crawl for brown girls. And what that is, I'm just going to unpack every section of that tagline. So guided meaning there's a tour guide that takes you around and has curated a list of beautiful mural art that only celebrates Black women. Like it is specific to underscoring the contributions and the success and the hard work and the determination of Black women through Atlanta's really rich art scene.
Nice.
The luxury part is that it is not a walkable tour. It is on board a Sprinter van.
Yes.
And you are served as a guest melanin cupcakes to celebrate, beautiful brown skin. You are served black girl leanies, which are mocktails or cocktails that are super sweet to just,
chilling.
Sweet like the juices and berries that we got, coconut oil that we got in our hair, sweet like that.
Okay.
But it is just an exploration of Black women's successes and contributions around the rich art scene around Atlanta, and it's an opportunity for Black women to connect and bond, even if you are strangers.
Yeah, I love it. Oh my gosh. Now in my head, I'm like, we gotta do a RareMaven collab or something. Like
yes, let's do it.
What do you say? What's the Bronalinis? What is it called again?
Black Girl Leanie.
Black Girl Leanies. Oh, that's just flows. I like that. Yeah, it's like sipping on that, walking around. Like
get you one.
Yes.
Get you one.
So, what was your Eureka moment? Like, what was that moment where you're like, I want to do this? Like, I'm inspired. Like, what happened?
Yeah. So in order for me to share my Eureka moment, I have to tell a little bit about the history of the tour. Yeah. So a little bit of background about me. I first started, as you know, Kareemah, I started in the natural hair movement. I was what you would call a blogger of sorts, writing not so much about how I style my hair, but more so about just like the social and political context of how Black women back in 2010 were returning to natural from relaxed hair. So I was really exploring the natural hair scene in Atlanta and writing about that.
Okay.
And that was my blog, right? Okay. And so after that, I was also in school for my PhD. I was earning my PhD at the time. And I won an award for my hair blog. After I won that award, like as time passed, my PhD really had some demands on my time. And I had to make a choice between pursuing this blog, which was largely successful, and getting my PhD. And I was so far in, I'm like, I'm about to pursue my PhD. Like, I'm going to fall back on this. So I finished my PhD. My dissertation was this examination of Black women teachers and their experiences in classrooms and their opportunities for advancement and some of the issues and struggles and challenges that they faced as Black women in the profession, right?
Okay.
So 2015, that was my dissertation, earned my degree, earned my PhD in 2015, and really treated myself to a lot of travel. That was my gift to myself. Like, I'm going on every trip. I'm going to visit every country. And I did it. And I would go to these countries and see beautiful Black art, beautiful, like I went to South Africa. I saw murals that highlighted Black women. I went to Colombia, I went to Cartagena, and it was I mean, the artwork was just, it just spoke to me.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, Atlanta has a beautiful art scene.
Yeah.
And I would love to share the beautiful art scene with people, but more specifically, I would like to share the art scene that celebrates Black women, because in my history, like my background is natural hair blogging, highlighting Black women's experiences with hair. And I moved on to an examination of Black women teachers, right?
Yes.
And then, so I felt like the next on my course was, it was always going to be Black women. And because I was so drawn to the art in the countries that I visited, I wanted to create an experience where, because I loved Atlanta, because I loved art, because I love Black women, though it was like the trifecta. Like, So that is how I began this experience.
Wow, I love it. And I love that, it's like you were open to the journey. That's what it is. Like, you were open to where you were being led, like anything that you could take to explore Black women in it. And actually it probably informs the experiences you're creating, because it's almost like you study, like with the hair movement, just what it meant to us, not just looking fabulous, but literally just how it has an effect on how we see ourselves.
Yeah.
We talk about the whole, law now where you can have locks in the office space, like what that does to you with feeling like you could truly be freely who you are. Like it's almost like you studied us and really maybe what we're hindering, and it opened your eyes. And I love that it's through the arts, because people take it for granted that art is a part of our culture. It has so much to offer for us to understand who we are, So I love the art. So I love that that's your approach. But it seems like you took that understanding of really our essence and what will make us engage, because sometimes you can sit through a lecture and hear about.
Yes. Let me tell you, Kareemah, there was a point where, and I still have them on my bookcase, but there was a point where I was reading every day, was reading bell hooks, anything by bell hooks. I was reading Black Feminist Thought by Patricia Collins. I was really, I was reading so many authors that were just examining Black women and exploring Black women's experiences. And as a Black woman myself, I felt like I could design something that Black women could appreciate. And of course, I'm a researcher. So the very first few tours, let's say the first 10 tours, I was collecting a lot of feedback from from the people who came on tour to like just to perfect it. Like, what can I do to perfect it? And they really appreciated the surveys that I would send out. I was getting quantitative and qualitative feedback.
Okay, nice. Sarah King said she loves bell hooks. All about bell hooks.
Yes, all about love. I think I just lent that one out. But yeah. Salvation is another one of my faves as well.
I have to read her. I have it. I am more like, again, like communication, video content, but I'm like, I gotta get to these books now. It's time. And I think there's gonna be a film, I believe, coming out.
Oh yes, I would love to watch that.
Yeah.
Given, she just passed in December. Would love to watch it.
Yeah, there's gonna be a film, and I can't wait because that's how I learned.
Well, listen. I hope that brings the masses to learn more about it.
Exactly. And so what do you feel like are some of the challenges like that you face when creating this experience in your business, really this business?
So many different types of challenges. So good question, Kareemah. One of the challenges that I faced is I am by trade an educator and a researcher. That is what I have gone to school to be, right? And so entering the space of being an entrepreneur is new for me. I've never taken a business class. I don't know anything about like marketing and advertising, and I don't know anything about like I didn't know anything about business. And so I literally learned this on the ground. I was building the plane as it was flying. And thankfully I was very thoughtful about the decisions that I had to make. And so I called on friends who were business owners themselves who had experienced success. And I also just kind of tapped into the ideas of friends and peers.
Yeah.
But you asked me, what is the biggest challenge?
Yeah.
One of the earliest challenges was knowing which advice to take from people. Right? Because everyone has advice, but not everybody has a successful business.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to offer advice, right? Some of the advice from really brilliant people who I know to be brilliant.
Yeah.
I didn't take, and I'm glad I didn't take it, because it just wouldn't have worked for my business and what I wanted the world to see in Magic Tours. So I would say knowing which advice to take is one challenge. Another challenge would be, and this is really into the business of it.
Yeah.
Setting an appropriate price.
Yeah.
Pricing for your tour in which you can really offer something beautiful experience to the people who patronize you, but also not so much that people can't afford to go. That's for me. I mean, some people, some businesses don't mind, right? And also being able to, I put so much time and effort into this.
Yeah.
I want to be able to be satisfied with the amount of money that I'm able to generate. So
yeah, I know how that. It's because it's so different when you're creating like an experience that no one's probably done before too. That's very unique. So it's like, how do you really fit that in? What do you do with that? And I think that's what a lot of creators deal with, like too, because this is a creative, I would say business in itself. So it's like, what do you do? And it's not only a creative, it's like you created it out of thin air. So so literally you created it. And I keep saying this, like there are people who are like creatives, but there are creative businesses, so it's like, what do you do with something you literally just created yourself? Curate. I would say curate too, like just curate it yourself. Like, it's one of a kind, so that's why I love your tip about taking the best form of advice. And I've actually noticed I like now to take advice from creative business owners because that's my business, right? It's like, but I love that you said that, getting the right advice,
Yeah, getting the right advice. And I'll tell you another thing. You gotta make sure you're not listening to people who I have friends who don't own a business, or who have a business but they're not doing anything with the business. It's like, if I get a sale, I get a sale, but I'm not doing anything outside to like draw in business.
Yes.
And some people are like, your prices are too high.
Wow.
And for that person it might be. But for everything that Black Girl Magic Tours has to offer, you're in a Sprinter, you're going from mural to mural, right? You're air conditioned in June in Georgia, and you're drinking, there's this camaraderie, but you also have a tour guide. I'm a tour guide, right? And your tour guide isn't just someone who found some murals and put together a tour. Like, I have studied like Black women's existence in the US. So I am someone who is qualified. I am credentialed. Like, I can talk to you about the experiences of Black women. So I'm going to charge for my knowledge.
Yeah, your worth. That's why I think I want to flip that into your tips, because I think that is a tip. So like, what would you say is like your top, I would say, because you already kind of gave it, but flipping it in that respect, because think it goes to worthiness. So could you give us like a tip on knowing your worth as a business owner? Like, what tip you use? And I know that was one, like knowing who to actually take advice from.
Yeah.
Like who could coach you. But I usually do that too after I do, like, what are your tips for, and this could be literally for creativepreneurs too, because this is a curated, even like event kind of related to experience. So, like, what advice would you give to someone like that who's actually curating their own experience? You know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say price your product or service at what you believe it is worth.
Mm.
And if you begin to get customers or clientele who ask for discounts or ask for like some reduced price, and you become comfortable giving that away, or people start leaving comments on social media, well, why would I pay that much? If you take that bait,
Yeah.
you'll keep taking the bait.
Yeah.
And you will begin to think that your product or service is not worth what it's actually worth. Don't get in the habit. My tip is don't get in the habit as an entrepreneur, as a creative or a creator. Do not get in the habit of underselling yourself, selling yourself short. Don't do that.
Yeah.
That's my tip.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's the top for creatives, like, because sometimes we're like, again, with the wording, are we good enough? Is it really up to par? It's like, that's why it's cool being creative, because you're creating this from scratch.
You are creating it from scratch, and you got
a doctor who had to go to school, and they're like, this is how you do it, and you're not doing it that way, you're not getting paid. It's literally like, this is your own. So make it into whatever you see fit,
Yes.
Like you said, it's more like how you study the experience. What are people gaining from it? How are they feeling after it? That's what informs you to improve it, but you still don't undersell yourself and diminish the work that you put in, So yes, trust me, you're preaching to the choir, because I have some things I want to curate, and I'm like, what do I do? And I'm like, just start with something you're worth, So I love that. I love that. And like, so when it comes to actually funding your business, what was that like for you? Like,
I've learned that Instagram is a lie, right? In terms of, you go on Instagram and people will show you, entrepreneurs and influencers will show you a glamorous life, right? And that is, I can't say that was the case for Tarika and Black Girl Magic Tours. Funding, I had to raise money. Like I had to work for it. And I had to personally get money and to fund this venture. And it's difficult because when I first shared this idea with people I knew, family and friends, one person flat out told me, one of my family members told me, a mural crawl, who would want to do that?
Wow.
And it's, you have to believe in your product. That's another, it's it, believe in your product.
Yeah.
So I just had to really, if a family member says that, then I, think about what the bank might say.
Yeah.
This is an original, this is a new idea. This is an original, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to find Black Girl Magic Tours across the nation being done this concept by many people.
Yeah.
It's just in Atlanta right now. Hopefully it'll expand, but
it will, God willing. Yes.
But it is something that, you just got to believe in your product.
I get that. I think, this is a constant conversation I have with other guests, and it's like almost, they say, pulling us on the bootstraps, and, but I think our products are definitely worth it, like we said, with the worthiness, but it's amazing to me, like, what people will do. And I don't know, I forget what platform just came out. I think CNN put out like a streaming app, and it failed, I think, within the first
one month.
And it was millions.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And look at like what we have to endure as Black women for people knocking. It's like, well, people, those other folks, especially the men, white men, could just do things that don't even work and put it out, don't even make sense.
You're right.
and no one questions it, and they'll get the funding, and so it's like, believe in
Yep.
yourself then. What? Go for it. I don't care what it is,
Right. And
So, but
CNN
yeah,
had all that funding and it fell through. And here we are, Black women are literally funding themselves. Like
yes.
whatever I'm doing in my 9 to 5, which I still have,
Mm-hmm.
I'm using my 9 to 5
Yeah.
to really start up my business.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I call it investor. That's what I call it. The investor. I don't call it a job. I'm like my investor. An investor. One of the investors.
One
But
of them.
but that's what I want to like tie into too, like going back to that social media, right? Because that is the Jedi mind trick that if there ever was one. So I want to go into one, like how do you utilize your content like on social media, your videos, because your tours are content in itself. People don't realize, like you already have enough content just to repurpose and use. But like, how do you like use your content for social media and for what purpose? Like you just said, it doesn't constitute sometimes it sales. It might just be engagement and attraction. Like, so what are your like top, you would say, tips as far as using content, and what type of content do you create, whether that's you go on podcasts or do you do more video? I see more video for you, like what is that for you?
I'm actually still learning content. That is
Mm-hmm.
still a area of growth for
Yeah.
me as someone who plays many roles in
Yeah.
terms of social media manager and
Mm-hmm.
customer support, and
Mm-hmm.
like I play many roles.
Mm-hmm.
But for content, the nature of the tour lends itself to people pulling out their camera
Yes.
and creating content for themselves.
Yes.
They'll make a TikTok video and they'll tag Black Girl Magic Tours, and I
Mm-hmm.
instantaneously have a link, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their videos that they're creating. They
Mm-hmm.
create Instagram posts and videos and reels. And
Mm-hmm.
I instantaneously, like, at this point, I don't have to create a lot of
Yes.
videos.
Yes.
I can go to the people who have gone on tour.
Yes.
And if their pages and profiles aren't private, I can download those videos and then
Mm-hmm.
just share them as content myself. And I get
Beautiful.
permission from them. And
Mm-hmm.
usually that's always
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, you can share this.
Yes. Yes.
Take that, and then run Instagram ads using other people's videos. Like I don't even have to create my own video. Uh,
Beautiful.
I will.
Mm-hmm.
I am working right now uh, to officially record for a commercial
Nice.
video, and
Nice.
so it's going to be high quality.
Yes, yes. That is amazing you say that, because I know, so here at RareMaven, I actually do focus on helping people create their content, but I look at events as a form of content, like you just said. Like literally, like the events itself is content, whether you get those photos or you could get sound bites, people like enjoying themselves, like whatever. Oh, I had a great time, and like people host events to actually get content. That is a way to get the word out, to share it, to do highlights, to show the reactions of how people think and what they like, so it's like I do consider events, even though it's in between, but it's like literally is a great form to just get a lot of different things, whether that's engagement, is one, and that's a big form of content, but you engage at the event. So I look at event as this is content live in a way, so
Yeah,
that
that's a
like
smart thing to do, Kareemah.
yes, yes. So the fact that this is like your whole model is amazing. Like you said, you could just repurpose and
Repurpose.
yes, repurpose, and literally that's how you go, because like and it's actually people are experience, again, people take away what they feel more than what you tell them, what they hear. It's about what they feel. So you're already creating these events, and it's going to keep people coming back and spreading the word because of how you're making them feel, so I think what people don't realize with sales, and I'm learning too, is the experience, and it's why we even do some events for RareMaven. And that's how I retain people, is from those little events. Oh, when you do the next one, da da da. More, and that'll be more than Instagram could ever do by me trying to
Right.
all this things. But But the whole point of that is creating these longer forms of what I call content. And I look at an event as that. If you're at an event for say 2 hours, that how much content you have, how many people attending these tours you can get, and then that could be content for weeks or something, So it's like, or a podcast or your blog, right? You might have a full blog, but you could take tips from that. So I do look at events as almost another form of long form content. So
Yeah,
that's
and you
kind of
can,
like, yeah.
like you said, repurposing it. So taking pictures and videos, and then for me, how I've repurposed content is the same mural, right? One mural can be high. Let's say there's a mural about Bell Hooks, who's an author who recently died. I could tell a story in using, my content could be telling her story, her biography. It could also be telling about some of the things that she's written about, which is another, area of content. It might be about Black love, or there's just so many ways to repurpose it. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm still, it is time consuming. And social media is a great driver of my business, I will say.
Yeah.
Definitely a great driver. But I'm trying not to put all of my eggs in that basket for IG.
Yeah.
Just in case IG and TikTok go down, I still want to deliver content in the mail.
Yeah.
Using mail subscription, my email subscribers, reaching out to them, using my website to also share posts and stories.
Nice. That's what I meant. Like, what other content? Is it videos? Is it blogs? It's really your event. Is your content? To be honest, like,
yes, it's all the event.
Yeah. Everything else is actually complimentary.
Right. Right.
Yes. Amazing. Okay. And I would say, what is like your quote? Like, what would you say to like Black women as far as celebrating ourselves? Because this is the core theme of what Black Girl Magic Tours is. Like, what is it about us celebrating ourselves that really touches you? Like, why I choose that word? Because that's a word I choose to celebrate.
There's so many quotes coming to my mind right now. One quote right now that I'm thinking of is by Malcolm X, and please don't quote me word for word, but it's something along the lines of Black women are the most disrespected women on earth or in the world, or something like that. And despite the disrespect, despite the exclusion, despite all of that, we still rise to the top and do good work. We are extraordinary. And I could sit here for the next few years and tell you some stories of just underdogs who made it and are successful based on their work ethic, based on their brilliance, based on their ideas. And it's just time to celebrate us. So engage in self-care and celebrate yourself for your Black girl magic. For all of the things that you bring to the table.
I love that. Yes, I love it.
I love your earrings because they're speaking to me right now. That young gifted in Black, like that.
Yeah, I'm getting my artsy vibe. I was like, I had to bring some like art out here, color blocking. Sure, I had to get into the theme of
yes,
art.
Young Gifted in Black.
Yes. So I had to bring it, but I literally wrote a post about that article, a blog post for the RareMaven site about Make the Stallion, and that was the first quote. And I forgot the word for word, but that was the quote I used to start off that whole piece.
Oh yes, I do remember that. She had the
shooting that happened.
Yes.
Yeah, and I tied it into what we went through with the doctor that was like examining us, and the one in New York, and down to now with, again, how people came at her after, and just like literally like our voices like on her, and why it's so important for us to stand for one another, to be there, because like if not us, then who?
We're constantly under attack.
Yeah.
Shout out to Megan Stallion for voicing that, because she could have used her position and role to highlight anything, and she chose to highlight Black women. So shout out to her for that.
Yes, we need a mural of her, right?
Right. Yes, with the knees
that she had. We gotta get one of these artists out here.
Yes. With the knees.
Well, all right, we're winding down. I wanted to know too, like, what do you feel is something like what maybe we're all about to like giving back? What's something that you enjoy giving back, like outside of yourself? You're giving a lot with what you do with your work, but
I think my career in and of itself as an educator, I work in school improvement, and I think my job for years, even as a classroom teacher, more so as a classroom teacher, I would say, shout out to all teachers, and deep respect for the work that you do. It is community service in and of itself. And so I have, since 2004, been in a classroom teaching, surrounded by children, making decisions that are best for my community, best for Black families, Black children. And my way of giving back is constant reflection and thinking of ways that I can unite my community and help them see the brilliance within.
Nice. I love that.
That's my giving back.
Yes, I love that, because I have read a scripture. It's actually, in the book that I read called the Quran, and it said like women are essentially almost like gatekeepers of the future. Like we are the ones who cultivate the future.
I like that.
I have to get the specific word, but that's essentially what it was geared around, like the whole, like almost like the summary of it. Yes. Like, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, we are. And that's absolutely the truth.
Yes. So that statement just made me think of that, like how important we are, and like you said, celebrating who we are, so we're great with ourselves, we're good with ourselves, so that we can bring up the next, the future, whether that's our children or not, or ones we're around, like we're the aunties, the sisters, whatever. That's who, cultivates and brings up the future. It's a reflection of where the woman is where she's at.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was beautiful. So, all right, I have this last question I love. It's called the Rise, Shine, and Grind song. So,
okay.
Rise, Shine, and Grind is, now it's Rise, Shine, and Thrive, because I don't like the word grind like that anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, grind is dead, right?
Yeah, grind is dead. Rise, Shine, and Thrive song. So mine is Diva by Beyonce. That's the song where whatever's going on, if I'm like, I'll hear that come on. And now I actually like the homecoming one, with the drums and everything.
Oh.
Yeah, I get up, I get at it, I hear that, I get into the spirit, right, to get it done. So I want to know, like, what is your Rise, Shine, and Thrive song?
You know what? I like that. I like that question. I think I'm going to do this song called Stand Up. It is a single from the movie Harriet, about Harriet Tubman.
Yes.
And so Stand Up by Cynthia, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, her last name, Erivo.
The actress? She sung too? Had a song?
Yes.
Wow.
She is multi-talented. Singer, actress, all around badass.
Yes.
That song from I guess it's the theme song from the movie. I listened to it a few days before I launched my very first tour, and it literally gave me life. Like, I remember, and I'm not celebrating the grind, but working all day, doing extra work, finding extra ways to make money to raise capital for my business.
Yeah.
And before anybody had taken the tour. And then I remember listening to that song, and I felt like I could throw a sprinter on my back and carry it.
Wow.
I was like, oh my goodness. because it's a song about, I guess it's told from Harriet Tubman's perspective.
Okay.
And I have such deep respect for Harriet Tubman and her story and just how incredible that woman was.
Yeah.
Incredible, like legend.
Yes.
Legend.
Yes.
And I was able to visit Philadelphia recently to see her. There was a statue in Philly.
Yeah.
And just amazing.
Like her spirit, like it just carried through.
Yeah,
like,
it carried me. It carried me. That song really carried me. And so when I listen to it now, it's really one of those. Ooh, Tarika, you can do.
Yes.
You can do great things.
Stand up. Okay. I like that. I will listen to it after this interview. I'm gonna add that to the playlist. We gotta start. We're gonna send you the playlist for your tours too. I want to play that on the bus.
Yeah, it's on the playlist. It's on the tour playlist.
Oh.
Whoa, understand.
I love it. Yes, we gotta get a list. So, oh my gosh, Tarika, thank you. This was like an amazing interview. I just love learning more about you and just love your dedication to us as Black women and to celebrate, have fun, to make an experience, for us to be present, to just live, getting out our confines, and owning that. And I love that you're so intentional behind it with your business. That's such a great thing to have in this day and age, instead of just, oh, gotta get the money, gotta get stacked. But no, it's like, what are you being called to do and you can live with, live from and thrive. So I just am so deeply honored to speak with you. And I'm thankful that there's another Black woman out here that's dedicated, in whatever way we can help.
I so appreciate you, and I'm honored to be part of this conversation this evening. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. I want you to tell us how we can keep in contact. What about the tours? Come down to Atlanta. Get on that tour.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me let the people know. So this is not a tour that hey, when I'm in town, if I'm in Atlanta, let me try it. No, this is an experience where you want to book your ticket. I don't care if you're in Seattle, if you are in LA, if you are in Houston, if you are in Brooklyn, if you're in Jersey, come on down. Book your ticket to Atlanta. All right. Book this tour, and you can meet us. You can find us online at www.blackgirlmagictours.com. You can find us on social at Black Girl Magic Tours. And that's about it.
All right, I'm tapping in the chat now, so people have it. For the replay and who's on, and I just love this. Sorry, Black Girl Magic. Let me say Black Girl Magic Tours. I forgot the tours part. All right. So thank you.
Thank you, Kareemah.
You're welcome. And thank you all who are tuning in today. And all those on the replay, definitely please follow Black Girl Magic Tours. I know you're going to be doing it all throughout the summer season, spring. We're outside this summer. We are outside.
We're outside, yes. We're outside.
Yeah, so let's get it together. If you want to get your girls together to come, make an experience. Can you do like private ones too?
Oh yeah. Private tours. Okay. You want exclusive access to the Sprinter?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, right. Shots fired off. Things coming to the ring now.
Gather your people.
Yes, I cannot wait. Listen, it's happening for me. We're doing this. So thank you, everyone. If you want to keep up with the podcast, follow us at RareMaven Media, and please like, share, subscribe, and guys, if you know any other Rare Mavens, Black women in business who love to have a podcast, please follow us, check us out, email us. I love it here. We're gonna do.
I love it here.
But yes, have a great night, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care.